maybe sitting on the fence. Please don't sit on the fence on this one. Are you for this or that? And with me to have this discussion is, first of all, Alex Elias Agbasiere, the man, the McCall, the efficient radio man. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. It's a beautiful morning here again, and another edition of Shots Fired on Super Nice 2.7 FM Lagos. It's just exciting to be here. Let's talk.
Okay. How's your week been, by the way?
It's been great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. I have Basil Dennis the 7th also in the building. Basil, how are you?
Hi, Gifty.
Hi. I'm very well. I'm good.
I'm good.
How's your week been?
It's been interesting,
Interesting. Okay, fantastic. Well, today's conversation is one that time and again, a lot of people have had to talk about. A lot of individuals who are looking to start life together, to do life together, to get married, to become one, because 1 + 1 is 1. It's equals to 1 in marriages. And some couples would decide that, or the man could decide that, you know what, I don't want someone who's 50-50. That's from the standpoint of a woman. I don't want, for the spouses, 50-50 is what I want. It's either that or nothing. And some girls say, you know what, provider mentality. The man should be able to take care of his woman. He should be able to provide for the entire home. He should be able to sort things out by himself because he is the man. While other men would say, provider mentality in the mud. You would bring something to the table. Now, this table that we have been addressing has, in fact, the length of the table is now literally 2.5 because the other 2.5 is gone. So we're asking the question today, or we're trying to have this conversation today. Which side do you stand on? Provider mentality, the man should take all his money and take care of you and ensure that at least he's bringing everything home, or would you rather go in Dutch? 50-50. So, Basil Dennis, I would like to begin with you. What is your stance on this?
So, I've always been on the standpoint of, a man providing almost, everything. At least, 80% because of the way we are built and wired from the beginning of time. Personally, I just feel like a man should provide, but the woman should make sure to play her part to the fullest. Respect, be a support system. Do not waste. Do not misuse. Do not disrespect. Be loving, and be a reproducer. Let me use that word. Be a multiplier. Yes.
Okay, multiplier.
Exactly.
It looks like a better.
Be a home care person.
A homemaker, as
exactly.
they would like to call them.
You get so. Put in your best. As a woman. Don't always just sit back, and then always be there for emergencies. For example, if a man is taking up almost all the bills and anytime he falls back to say, okay, can you just do this? You always, no, I don't have anything left. No, I don't. Even if you have, it's really a letdown, It can be so discouraging. Even when you're dating, not just in marriage. Every time the guy does almost everything. But when it comes to just once in a while or once in a blue moon, he says, please, can you just sort this thing out? And you're like, no.
Okay.
Then what are you there for?
Okay.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. But do you think, I'm trying to phrase this question in the most possible way, because I hear you, provider mentality, you have always been in the school of thought that men should provide. But the woman should do her own due diligence by respecting us, being a support system, being there for the man. But why do you think men have been mandated to provide? What do you think about this?
I think the way we've been wired and the positioning, let me say duty roles.
Duty roles.
Yeah, exactly. Naturally.
Okay.
Men are supposed to be, hunters, provider, guardians, and all that. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So, and I don't think that's changing anytime soon. Except for, I know the society in which we live in now, a lot of young men do not live up to that. Which I do not, I don't fault them, I don't blame them. I'm not judging anybody. It depends on their capacity to do this. But I always tell people, in your own capacity, don't compare yourself to other guys that are doing a whole lot. Have you done 100% of what you're capable of doing as a man for the woman? You should ask yourself that question. So I think from the way, for we that believers, according to I always say this, the Bible and all that, a man was created to do that. A woman was created for support, for companionship,
right?
Not to provide. No.
Okay, a woman wasn't created to provide.
Yeah, support, companionship.
Okay.
Guidance, sort of.
Have you ever gone Dutch with a woman on a date before?
No.
Okay. Alex Elias Agbasiere, good morning again. Alex, what do you think about going Dutch?
Well, it's not a Nigerian thing. First off,
Okay.
I think that
Culture.
it's culturally speaking, when you look at how it is outside this country and how it is in this country, two different things entirely. And because of the cultural pressure of men have to provide or men have to do everything in the sense of providing, I think that puts a lot of young Nigerian men, or maybe Nigerian men, not even young, even the old ones, puts them in a corner where they know for a certain that they have to provide. And like you said, when you go out on a date with any woman in Nigeria, it's expected that the man pays for everything. Whether you initiate the date or she initiates the date.
But in
nobody
recent
cares.
times, it's been seen that whoever
Yeah,
initiates the
that's okay. Now for recency and conversations that are coming up, and the fact that sometimes we like to style and copy the Western culture, it is now a conversation amongst Nigerians that, well, you can actually go on a date and split the bill 50-50. But it is not a mainstay conversation in our society because it is required, you as the guy, that you pay for everything. Now, when you talk about provider mentality, I think, I dare to say, lots of Nigerian men know that their duty when they are in a relationship is to provide 100%. Lots of they know that. Nobody has to tell you. It's something that you know, and
But where did the conversation come up
I
with
think
50-50?
men made that happen. I mean, he made an example of the Bible, and really, if you read it, you understand that that's what we were created to do.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, it's an unwritten rule.
Unwritten rule. It's not something that they have to tell you. You know what it is. And let me say this: even with kids, when you see. Let's put it like this: maybe a brother and a sister, a little boy and a little girl. You see that the brother would want to provide for the sister. There's an example that I saw this one time. So did some teaching practice at some point in life, and I saw that little boys would want to share what they have with other people without thinking about if that it's going to be enough for them. They just want to share it. That's just the nature of a male child. So growing up, that's the pressure that they've already been pushed to bear and to carry. But when you take the conversation outside the four walls of this country, it's a different thing entirely.
Right.
You hear things like, women even pay for dates. Women accept the 50-50 rule, which is something that happens in the UK, in the US, and all of that. But it's even in those countries, there are still men who pay 100% for things. There are still men who cover everything in terms of providing. But in this country, we like to, streamline everything down to Nigeria because that's where we are. It's not a conversation. 50-50 is not something that maybe resonates with a lot of Nigerians. And for Nigerian women, this is not me trying to throw shades or anything. You hear it, you see it on social media, you hear the conversation, podcasts and stuff like that. You hear things like, I can't be with a man that doesn't want to provide 100% for me. I can't be with somebody who doesn't know that they have to provide. It's a main station. And the day I heard it from a successful woman, I was shocked.
Why were you shocked?
I was shocked because I expect, a woman who makes six figures, who makes a lot of money, who is successful, well-to-do, she doesn't need anything from anybody.
Sometimes you just need your husband's money.
No, it's not.
Or your husband's to be money.
She's not married. This is the question. So we were having a conversation, and I said to her, being that you're successful, and she's the head of an agency in Lagos. I won't call the name, but she's big. When I say she's big. And she doesn't need anything from anybody. And then we had that conversation about 50-50 and stuff like that. And then she goes, if a man doesn't want to spend his money on me, then that man is not ready to be with me.
Maybe because she's successful as a person.
And I asked, when she said that, when she said that, and I asked, when you say spend money on you, what do you mean? She said spend money 100%. That's what she said. And I'm like, but you got money. And she's like, no, my own money
it's my money.
Is my own.
Leave
it to one side. This is the mentality. And this is somebody who's successful.
But do you think that she would not step in if he's struggling?
She will. But to carry the idea of a man would do it 100%, if he doesn't want to do it 100%, then we don't have anything.
Do you think that maybe because she is successful, she would easily fall into a trap of a man that may see her money and say, oh, because this woman has much money, I will not be doing the most.
You
Now,
mean
let me create
Okay.
let me create this
That's what
picture.
I'm trying to
Semi-gold
say.
digger. Okay.
It is the percentage of women who are successful and men who just want to go there because she's successful. Different. I don't think. I'm just personally, and looking at the society that we find ourselves in, I don't
Sorry,
think.
please, I need you to take that again.
Okay, so let me roll that back for you one more time.
No way. You
Now,
guys are not
no.
doing this. But go on.
It's just
I'm
for you
listening.
to understand where we're coming from. It will be so difficult for a man who doesn't have enough
Okay.
to chase after a successful woman. It will be difficult because the man knows, oh, I can't level up. So why am I
Except
here in the
he's-
first place?
Yeah, except he's a certified gold digger.
Except he just has that mentality of, oh,
Right.
let me chase to the very end. Or we've seen cases where successful women pick up maybe men who are not
Yeah,
up
sure.
to their standard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
fall
just
for
maybe
them.
out of love,
Yes.
and they take them
Genuine
up.
likeness, yeah.
Sometimes
Genuine
it may,
likeness and love.
Right.
sometimes it may not be love.
Maybe for
But
other
go on,
reasons,
but go on.
but we don't want to go into that. But yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. So the percentage, and then when you now turn it to the other way, there are lots of men. There are lots. See, there's this conversation of men marry down, women marry up.
Okay.
Which, hold on,
No, but it's the truth. It's
no,
the truth.
no,
It is the
because
truth.
if I'm a man and I'm successful and I have everything in the world, it doesn't take me anything to go to my village and find somebody.
But
who,
do you think
hold
that
on,
maybe because
hold
of
on.
ego, men will not go up?
No, it's
Because
not
they don't
ego.
want to feel emasculated. Wait,
No.
no.
I don't think so.
I feel
I
like
think-
men
I
will not
think-
go up
I
because they think that they want their respect and they want to be the men of the house.
So let me say
That's
this
why they
now.
would
Let me
rather
say
I
go
think the
down.
first
Let me say
reading. Wow, go
This
with
is
Alex.
the reason.
I think
This is the reason
Okay, go.
why we need a man and a woman in conversations like this.
I'm a woman. I'm here.
No, you're not. You're hosting the show. This is the reason
Wait,
why
no,
we
no,
need.
no,
No,
understand.
no, because it creates a balance in the conversation, right? Because
We're having a conversation.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, which is spot on. But no, the percentage is so low. It's if I'm successful and a woman is successful, yeah, we can build something great.
I think
Well,
the
of course.
first reason,
Yeah,
the first
of
reason
course,
men
but-
go for any lady, like he said,
Yeah.
which is correct. The first reason we go for ladies
lady
who
married
are
down.
Yeah.
just down. Don't get us wrong. Is
Yeah.
because we don't mind. Because
We don't
genuinely
care.
don't
No,
mind. We don't care.
guess what?
We
Guess
don't
what?
care.
Guess
No,
what?
no, no, hold
You know
on.
that men will not go higher because they
Because
think
what?
that a woman who is independent and has money
No,
would
I
lack
I
respect.
said the first reason. I
Would
said
lack
the first
respect?
reason.
Yes.
No,
I said
that-
the-
I don't-
because
I
they,
don't agree
they
with
no.
think
No,
they
I
think,
don't agree with that.
oh,
I
we
don't
have
agree
had a
with that.
conversation here on
But I'm gonna
I
ask
think-
you a
You don't, wait,
question.
hold on. Let me ask you a question. You don't think I want a successful woman?
Of course, you do want a
Yeah,
successful
So
woman.
I like that
No,
question.
no, no,
So
no.
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think most of you who are successful are disrespectful?
Of course
easily
not.
disrespectful?
Of course not. But guess what? A
Why
man,
do you say
But you know,
that?
there's,
Are you
man-
sure?
there's a pettiness that comes
Guess what?
with the when a
Exactly.
woman
No,
has
no.
success.
you see what you're saying.
That's
You see
that's
what
what
he
I'm
just
saying.
said?
But
You see what he
There's
just
an
said?
extra ego.
No, no, no.
There's
That
that
comes
strong
with it.
I
ego
don't
that
think
comes.
that there
Exactly.
is that extra person. That's what I'm saying. That it's an ideology that men have.
No, it's not. It's
Wait,
not.
wait.
Because
Let
it's
me
what
land.
we
Let me land.
experience.
Let me land.
Ideology from
Let me land.
where?
I think that there's an ideology out there that if a man marries a woman who is a little maybe almost at par with him, successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tends
So let's
to.
let's trim it
she
down to
tends
money.
no. Okay, has
Yeah.
a lot more money
Yeah,
than
money.
him,
Yeah.
I
or
like that.
maybe
Exactly, I
maybe
prefer that.
almost
Let's
at
not
the
do success, let's do
same,
money, yeah.
almost at the same stance
Yeah.
with him. Their tendency is that they think that this woman will not give him the
No, we
respect
don't
that he
think.
needs.
I'll tell you something today, right now. We
Maybe
don't
because
think. We
they've
know it happens
Why
every
do
day.
you think that that's what's on the table?
No, we don't think it happens every day.
I don't think
But it
I don't-
happens.
No, it happens doesn't mean that there's a high percentage of women out there who would not marry a man.
The percentage is
But
increasing.
hold on. Let me say this.
Okay.
Now, in this country, there are lots of times when we hear things like this. Oh, she's in her mid 30s. She's successful. She has money.
Right.
She has a good job. She has cars. She has houses and stuff like that. She doesn't need a man. That's the conversation. Because when a woman steps into that pedestal, she doesn't need a man.
But
Oh, a man cannot do anything for me.
Exactly.
Why
No,
do
but
I need a
no,
man?
but
No,
it's
hold
an
on. I'm not
ideology
done.
that is out
I'm
there.
not done. No matter how successful a man is, he still needs a woman by his side. And that's the difference. No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the difference.
Do you agree with
Because
that? You agree?
do you agree
no,
with that?
hang on.
You don't even have to agree.
Hang
That's
on,
the
no,
fact.
Do you
no,
hear
no.
things like, oh, I'm successful, I have everything, I don't need a woman. A woman cannot do anything for me. You don't hear that.
Oh,
But you hear that.
I
hold
hardly
on.
hear
You
that.
hardly-
Oh
you
no,
hardly
no,
hear-
that's
You-
the truth.
you
I'm
You
not-
might
I'm
just hear it twice in a lifetime.
Yeah. No.
Well. The conversation is heated, but we have to go on. Okay, say this before we go on this quick break.
Drop it, brother.
But that's basically the difference.
What is
A
the difference?
successful woman, sometimes they tell you they don't need a man in their life because a man cannot do anything
Yeah, they are
for
quick
me.
to saying it.
They're quick to say
Even
that
the ones who
because-
haven't gotten there, they're quick to saying,
Yeah.
as soon as I get what I want, I don't think I will need any man to do
Yeah.
anything.
All right, we're going to go on this rather
Let's go on
short
a
break.
I have more things to say.
It's
but-
still shots fired.
Yeah.
92.7 Super FM, your one family, one radio.
92.7 Super FM.
Don't just let X get the glow up. It's time to renew your brand visibility. Spring into the season with fresh ideas, bold campaigns that make your brand bloom. Whether you're a startup ready to hatch or a business ready for a rebrand, this is your moment. Hop on our It's the Boom promo. Buy 10 slots of radio jingles and get up to 30% off. Or step up to the Golden Easter promo. Buy 20 slots of radio jingles and get up to 30% off with a 5 minutes live appearance, or elevate to our extraordinary Easter promo. Buy 30 slots of radio jingles and get up to 30% off with a 5 minutes live appearance and 2 minutes business mention. And the babala of them all, the Super Easter Jackpot. Get up to 40 slots of radio jingles at 30% off and a 10 minutes live appearance. Don't let your brand blend in. Stand out with a fresh look. Offer ends May 31st, 2025. Let's make your brand extra visible. Call us today on 0802-827-5244 or 0803 964 1637 or 0803 429 7722. Super 92.7 FM, one family, one radio. One radio.
Lord Sky on the beat.
She can, she tell me say she got run away. She got run away, right away. I said, Mama, no, the baby got you don't forget back in the days. I've been living it to drive. Please you with me. If I don't get today, I go get that tomorrow. I be you want make a die. It not easy for me. If I don't get today, I go get that tomorrow.
Lord Sky on the beat.
Girl, I try everything to spend my life with you. I've been living it to drive. Please you with me. If I don't get today, I go get that tomorrow. I be you want make a die. It not easy for me. If I don't get today, I go get that tomorrow. If money no dey, money no dey. That's what she say, she go run away. I say, Mama, no, the baby got the bed. The baby don't come again. Please you with me. If I don't get today, I go get that tomorrow. I be you want make a die. It not easy for me. If I don't get today,
Lamborghini. I want to fly for Santorini.
Well, it's a beautiful conversation on air and off air. We have been literally at the top of our voices having this conversation right here. 92.7 Super FM, your one family, one radio, right here in the city of Lagos. It's 11:34 a.m., the 2nd of May, 2025. And with me in the studio is Basil Dennis the 7th and the man that called the efficient radio man, Alex Elias Agbasiere. And the conversation for the day has led us to looking into the provider mentality that the society has made sure that men have, and the 50-50 conversation about going Dutch when needs arises for things to be done in the home or in a relationship. And I've asked the men in the studio what they thought about it. Alex, who had gone on and on about how one of his friends who has the most money or can't take care of herself has come out to say that, you know what, my husband to be, anyone who's going to get married to me would have to provide 100%. I have the money, but he has to provide. And I'm asking you, Alex, could it be as though there could have been a conversation or a relationship that she had been in before that this person didn't want to provide because she had the money?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that can be the case, but like I said, it's almost like a general thing when you go to social media, when you watch different podcasts, when you even listen to women talk. And when I say women, I mean Nigerian women. I'm not generalizing, not saying everybody, but
some Nigerian women.
That conversation or that notion of, oh, he has to provide everything.
No, sorry, most Nigerian, please.
Now, recently,
I don't understand.
No, hold on. Now, recently, I had an experience. This was just last year, and you know when you're put in a box and you have certain uncomfortable conversations with people, and you ask questions, because when you ask questions, except they're lying to you, you most definitely get the answer of what you want.
True, I agree.
And it's a thing, and I'm sorry to say it's a Nigerian thing. The men have to provide.
Do you think that it's
and
the
100%?
culture?
You don't have to be sorry because the fact.
Societal, cultural.
Cultural pressure. I like to put it as cultural pressure, and the society at large ensuring that or making it a point of duty that men have to provide. Because if we look at it,
if you look at it, it is women. It is women who have that mentality.
That men have to provide.
No, women here.
But guess what? You know this phrase, be a man, you a man, stand up to yourself. You have to provide. You have to do this. It's something that a lot of parents would have instilled in their children from time immemorial. Yeah, and so it was passed down from generation to generation to generation. And all the men in your life to tell you, you have to be a man.
But didn't tell the male child to be the 100% provider.
No. In subtle ways, it will shock you.
And I think poverty is part of the problem.
No, he used the children as a standpoint.
Yeah.
Now, a father gives his daughter something and gives the son something. And the daughter finishes hers before the son.
The son wants to share.
And then none even wants to. I'll put it in the case that when she goes to me, Daddy, I want to, go on. Oh, Ekene, share with your sister.
Yeah.
Both of them were given the same thing. But because Ekene now is a man in his head, because guess what? His father has made him realize that you have to provide for a woman even if she has hers. Do you understand? I think it's more of parents, society, and culture.
Do you want to know something that is even scary with that is for the parental preaching now of you're a man and stuff. A lot of mothers do that more than the fathers.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think so.
Sure.
I don't think so.
I'm not joking, you know. I'm telling you, they tell you that. So,
don't you know you're a man?
Yeah. Don't you know you're a man? You have to treat a woman right. You have to treat.
But
a lot of mothers do that.
Culture,
even carry stuff.
Sorry to even bring it back to culture. Even in culture, I remember the About Women riot. Women were the ones that were doing the most work. They were the ones actually providing the most. The men would only go to the village.
The reason for the riot?
The reason for the riot was because of the taxes that was supposed to be paid on the things, goods and services that they were supposed to pay.
And who are the people in the markets of these things that are happening?
Men.
That's a different
case. How is it men?
No. Wait, let me analyzing this, because I've seen the play. I've read the story. The About Women riot was because of the taxes that were placed on the things that were being sold by these women in the market. Their husbands would sit and cross their legs and be funding only God knows what. The only thing that he would do is just to go and get meat, because women obviously cannot go and start killing animals.
You see how women.
Someone is calling.
The only thing that
someone's calling.
Okay.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
We can't win.
Good
morning.
What is your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Toby calling from
Toby. Well done, Toby. Thank you for calling in.
Like, in the first place, I want to know who made the law.
Because it's an unwritten law. Actually.
Men should make the 100. That's why men die early before women.
Oh, Toby, thank you
Wow.
very much.
Because there's a lot of pressure on them.
Too much pressure.
They have to put everything in their head, everything in their heart, and they just as much as going to an end, they'll say, I'm going to this house again. That kind of thing. That's what kills it. Okay, I put something on WhatsApp. I said, the money women made, are they meant to take it to heaven?
Yeah. I was about to read that.
If it can't be
Are
used
they
on the
meant to
family.
take it to heaven? If not used on the family. Because why are we working? Why are we working? Why are we trying to make money? If we are someone is just to keep our own, why somebody will have to, take everything that he has into the family. We are coming together. I'm not buying you. We decide to come together to form unity, to form
And
a
to
family.
build something together,
To build something together. So when we are building together, definitely somebody is bringing cement, somebody is bringing sand.
True.
It's not that it is one party that will bring every equipment to build the house. So I don't know what mentality we have in Africa. We have to change this notion. It's not proper. It's not meant to be. It's not actually has to be 100% or 50-50. No, what works for this family might be different from what works for the other family.
True.
But I sat down with a friend and we were discussing. I think my friend I was getting married tomorrow, and I said, okay, guy, have you guys discussed about finance? And I was like, oh, this and I said, okay, let me just give you a little thing that I think might help. Why not just open an account for the family? At the end of the month, okay, maybe you put 60% or 70% into the account, she put 30 or 40% into the account, so that when there is need for the family, we go to that account and do what the family needs out of that account.
Okay,
So that
like a joint account.
The burden will be lifted a bit. At least we know that, okay, the money going to this account, we might not use it in 3 months, and we might need everything in 1 month sometimes.
Right.
So at least that will ease the burden. It won't be as if, okay, the man is collecting the salary and is looking at the end of the salary, oh, this month, this salary is gone already. And a lot of thoughts will be coming into the children's school fees, the house rent and everything upon this man. Come on.
It's a lot of
we are
pressure.
Not, we are not God now.
All right. Thank you so much, Toby. For
omnipotent now.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toby. But do you know that something just crossed my mind now? My father was one of these men that would say, oh, don't work. I'll take care of everything. Just take care of the children. That's what my father told my mother when they got married. So when you say that there are men that is women that are instigating things, sometimes it's the men.
So hold on.
It's the men.
Yeah, sometimes it's the men, but hold on.
Okay.
You don't think that there's a reason why your father said that?
What could have been the reason?
Now listen. That's why I said that's why I give that example of successful women loving a man, whether he has anything or not. And then taking them in, and then they build together. Yes, men can say that, right? But that doesn't mean that he's literally telling your mom, go to the bedroom and be sleeping every day.
Oh, of course, no. My mom is not that kind of person.
That's what I'm saying.
My mom was doing because she didn't like that my father had said that, like, oh, don't work. And she was like, no, like, I need to do something with my hands.
And that's the mentality. Now, for some women, they would listen or hear that and go, oh, holiday.
So
vacation.
So two things.
But you know, there's some men that actually would say, I don't want my wife to work.
You don't think I want to provide for my wife? I want to do that. But the
problem?
No, the problem is
problem?
the mentality
Why?
of he has to do everything. And just rightly what Toby said. And that's why a lot of men, when they get to their 60s, they slow down. Because of the pressure from maybe their early 60s. I know
But do you
people
think
who
in recent times we can agree that women are doing more? Women are wanting to do more with their finance, their careers.
I'll tell you something. See,
women will want to make. You don't think I want to make my own money?
You want to make your own money, but then again, your husband is the one who spends the money in the house.
So
I don't understand.
So the money you're making, where is the money going to?
I don't. No. Okay,
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Why divorce settlements are absolutely outrageous.
Okay, let's
not go into that. But it's still the
yet.
same. It's still the same thing. So, but let's hear about it.
So the reason it looks like women are doing more is because it's more pronounced.
How so?
It's more pushed out there. If one woman does one great stuff, 5 men does great stuff. People are likely to just say they are men. That's what they're supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one woman, because it's a woman that does that thing.
But you know that time and again.
No, let's be honest. So, and I want to state this clearly, whether we hate to say this or not, with all due respect to our parents and their parents, there's a lot of wrong, very wrong training and impression and notion they put in our head and they fixed it. You see that thing that happened with your dad? Yeah, it's true. They confused us a whole lot. They were wrong, but I guess that's what they knew. That's what they got to.
That's their understanding.
It's like a.
And
it's
they
like
weren't
a,
willing. The sad thing that the wrong thing they did was, and that's part of what's affecting Nigeria as a country. I must say this: the mentality. The wrong thing they did was sticking with it. This is how it's always been done. Let's stick with it, and that's where we are today. And I feel like more ladies that are entrepreneurs, like your friend, for example. I have a friend that's like, I told her, you guys need to put it out there to young ladies that they need to also work. So you just put it out there to young ladies, a man should provide, and that's all they know. These
That's
young
what they
ladies
want.
coming up, they don't know that as a woman, they also need to work and make their own money. That's another topic for another day. Let's leave provider mentality or not.
Okay.
A lot of young ladies just feel like, oh, you guys should just provide. But these ladies up there pushing it are working like the other lady and making their own money. But these young ladies don't know.
All right, join in on the conversation. Tell us what your thoughts are on this. 0705 6900927. 0705 6900927. It's a good morning, my family members. I'm loving the show this morning. Please, mine is a question. You talked about helping out in times of emergency. What if the woman is in a situation where she's asked not to work, just stay at home, take care of the kids and the home, and she's not getting money from anywhere? Even when she pleaded with her husband to do something like work or do a business, but he refuses. What will this woman do in this aspect of helping out in the area of finance? Please, you've told me not to work. You now come to meet me and say, oh, business is down. What should I do? How should I help you? How? Well, let's take this quick call, first of all, before we address this question. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is James calling from Ojo.
James from Ojo. All right, James, what is your submission on this conversation?
Yeah, the thing is, marriage is more like a division of labor.
Right.
Are you getting it now?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't like it when people talk down on our culture. I think our forefathers, they've seen these things that, women are good in area of nurturing children. While the men have that strength to provide.
Yeah.
Are you getting it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and nurturing children is a huge job on its own.
Full-time job.
Okay.
Full-time.
I'm telling you, if you are married and you try it for once, you know what it takes.
Okay.
True.
Or if you are a children teacher, maybe in your church, you will know what it takes to nurture children.
Right.
And on this area, women are so perfect in it. They can do it better. You know, even in our forefather days, women do more of the job. They go to the farm.
Right.
The reason why many men marry plenty wives is because so that they can help them in their farms. So you can't say you marry a woman to be jobless. She can find something doing around the environment so that she can be able to take care of the children. So a woman shouldn't be jobless. She shouldn't say, oh, I want to focus on my children alone. But you should have something else doing. But it is more important for a woman to be around their children so that they can nurture them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank
you
you
so much,
so
James.
much,
for that.
James. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gift. Good morning.
Prof, we never hear your voice since the beginning of this week. What's happening? How are you?
Fine, my sister.
All right.
Good morning.
Professor Ben.
My sister be my daughter.
Join.
Then, so see, everything we are discussing, we are hitting it on women. Is to say women are lazy. Women are not lazy. Go to St. Peter's Alaba and see women there. St. Peter's Alaba International here. Go and see what women are doing. Women build house. Women sponsor their husband. Women do great things. So many women give their husband money to go to overseas and import goods. So women are doing great things. So many women are winners. They pay school fees. They build house for their husband in the village.
Right.
It is the duty of a man to provide for his household. That is cost. One of these costs God cost on a woman in the Garden of Eden. He said, their daily need will be upon your husband. It is a cost. And up to today, God have not revoked that cost. Another place in the New Testament said that any man that cannot provide for his household is worse than an infidel. So let me tell you, in marriage, man and woman are one. If husband and wife are one, it is a mystery. Marriage is a physical thing that have spiritual meaning. God joined two people together and they say one. In our own perspective, 1 + 1 is 2. Because 1 + 1 is 1. It's 1. So you being a woman, How dare you now? You have money. Many women are earning 3 million, 5 million monthly salary. Their husband is earning 800,000, 600,000. Why can't you use their initiative and know that there are so many things you're supposed to do? You don't even wait for husband to say, bring so percent.
True.
Bring so percent.
True.
I don't advise men to say to their wife, bring so percent. Okay, your wife a co-occupant now. That means it's a co-occupant now. So sharing duty with women is not good. If you are a good man, if you are a good husband, that's playing your role. You are the head of the family.
Yeah.
And you love your wife so much. Your wife knows you love her, that you are ready to do everything to make her happy.
Right.
You know, you're not a gambler. You're not a womanizer. Before you do anything in your family, you let her know. Some men will collect money from their wife. They go and sponsor their family members to do nonsense. They will be lavishing money in their family, and he's collecting that money from their wife. So that is why so many women don't give their husbands money. But if you are a responsible man, so many women, it is their husband's account number, they pay their salary. And the man uses judiciously well. So many men are building houses today. You will not know that it is their wife that gave them the money they're using to build that house. You will not know.
Okay.
You will be praising the man. So many women that are paying salary. Their husband, their children doesn't know that it is mommy that is paying salary. They will give to the daddy in the room.
Daddy will come out and show that he's the one.
Buy rice, buy everything. Take children out. The children never know until they finish university.
All right.
The women are wonderful people, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Mr. Ben, for giving us so many citations to back
I
up this conversation.
I like the direction that he took the conversation to. Quoting the Bible, the New and the Old Testament, and also talking
the man who
about
cannot provide for his family is worse than an infidel.
Yeah, and again, if you're a woman and you earn
Why
more,
is Basil Dennis
if
smiling?
you're a woman and you earn more than your husband, you should be reasonable enough to want to help and provide.
Of course,
Don't say
by all means.
because he's the man, let him do everything. So,
course
Prof,
not.
thank you so much for that summation. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. What is your name and where are you calling us
my
from?
My name is Tracy, and I wanted to say something to react to that man that talked about culture.
All right,
Okay,
Tracy,
I'm
go
not
on.
against culture.
Okay.
The thing is, you have to find a balance. Some of the things that culture is asking for are outdated. They're very outdated.
True.
If not, let's all be living in culture in the urban area. The thing is to find, again, it's finding a balance.
Finding a balance.
Because think about it this way. He talked about a woman that's, a woman is supposed to nurture and all of that. We have to be honest in that there are women who are not good at nurturing.
True.
They are better at
Absolutely
nurturing.
true. Absolutely.
There are men who are better at nurturing and they are horrible at working. Then there's the other thing that he mentioned, because I don't want to take too much of your time. The second thing he mentioned, he talked about she should be at home and get something lucrative to do. Some women are horrible at being business people. They are better at working in an office and earning a salary.
Yeah.
They are better at working in a space and doing, there's a mission assigned to them and they are paid for it, rather than running a business.
Oh,
Because
Tracy.
they will run the business aground.
Oh,
True that.
Tracy.
So we have to really
You're
put
saying the
it
right
into
things.
perspective.
Yeah.
And there are women. There are a number of women in today's world that are doing so much. Like I think it's Prof that said so. That they are doing so much, but they are doing it in the name of their husband.
Right.
But because we see,
We see men as providers.
20
Yeah.
No, if we have 20 women and 12 to 13 women are doing all of these right things, the stories about the 5 or 6 women that are doing the wrong things would make more news. And so you will now think that, majority of independent women, majority successful women. Listen, a woman, no matter how successful she is, she wants to be loved. She wants to be taken care of. She wants to be looked at as a woman. Independent women are the most vulnerable, some of the most vulnerable women in the world.
Exactly.
True.
Absolutely.
True.
They are.
True.
And that's why, unfortunately, bad people get them and take advantage of them often enough. So we really need to look at these things and look at the perspective. It's just that bad things, of course, are the ones that spread the loudest. That's why it looks as if, independent women don't want, everybody wants somebody.
All
Even
right.
I heard somebody say that men, as a successful man, you don't say, I don't need a woman. Actually, because you have a dime a dozen, you choose to pick one person and want to be with one person.
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much, Tracy.
I would have. I wanted to know where Tracy was calling from. Great analysis and great take on the subject.
I definitely
matter.
agree because a lot of times, like
because
we said,
you see,
like
so
the
many.
whole- the
because the
balancing
cultural
thing
thing,
she's talking
you can talk about, but yes, some of them don't really go with today's world.
I even like that
and
Tracy
again,
said some men cannot work. They don't have the capacity.
Some men cannot
and
work.
and they're good at nurturing.
and
children.
another thing is, I've seen a lot of men who were single dads and they trained the best set of
Oh
kids
yes,
in the world.
I've seen that, and I've seen some single
And
dads
I've seen
that
some
have done a
single dad who have done
ridiculous job.
a trashy job
Quite.
to bring out
Or
the
even
worst
vice
of
versa.
children in the
Even
world.
vice versa. I've seen women that have done amazing
There is
raising
not
of
I've
kids.
seen women. I have many in my family. But
Well,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
a
throw my
product
family
of
under the
one
bus.
woman
But
that have done amazing with raising all of her kids.
And a
So
lot
I
of
think-
women have done a lot of badly trained
Yeah,
children.
Some person came to my mom and told her, why are you slaving for your children? Madam, let's go and have fun and go and party. My mother said, my husband just died 1 year ago. I should leave my children to go and party. Where?
Wow.
So see,
So yeah,
different
but some
situations,
women would have
but
taken that bait and
Exactly.
That's it. And
But at
that's
the end of the day,
results
it's
bad
balance.
children.
At the end of the day, it's balance. Like we said, if you are in a place of having much more financially, you should aid to a large extent. If you're a woman, you're working, we're demanding equality, right? If you're equal in the workplace and you're making as much money as your husband or even more, it's just right that
Exactly.
one and one has turned to one.
Yeah.
1 + 1 is now one.
And if
So
you're not ready to share, please forget about marriage.
it's a
Not the
union.
business being
Yeah,
It's
if
a
you're,
union.
Yeah, I mean, he said it.
Oh, I
if you're
agree.
not ready to share, if you're not ready to try to support, you're not ready for my. Don't.
But we
don't
hope
even,
that
don't,
the
don't go
man
into
that you
it.
meet, because now it now boils down to personality, because you can meet a man that would be appreciative of that and even want to do more because you are doing more. But
Yes.
others want to sit down and cross their legs. And that's why some people will tell you, oh, as a woman, even if you have the most money, shh, fem,
Okay.
because the man may take advantage of that. There's some men that will feel emasculated that, I need to want to make money for my family. But others will like, I bet she has the money, I bet let's just chill.
Now here's the crazy thing, because the word balance is so easy to mention in any situation, but finding balance is the most difficult thing in the world.
It is, absolutely.
It's difficult to find balance, but when you find balance, then things can move smoothly. And I think that balance, like the last caller Tracy said, balance is something that we have to find in situations like this, because